Optimistic beats. Optimistic beats.
Got my Cali booted up, yeah, it's time to hack. Got the IP in scope, now I attack. You likely don't know I wear a black hat. Where's your SQL database? Let me grab that. And all the people in the place saying play that. Even if your password's hashed, I'm gonna crack that. Let me go and pass that back with the fast track. We can think it's slow or fast, I got the hashtag. Even if it doesn't last, I'm gonna grab that. Every kind of persistence and I will come back. Responders gonna listen and I'll get that call back. Someone tell Eminem I'll never fall flat. Cause unlike all of them, I don't sound whack. I can rap, I can hack, yeah, all that. Cause unlike all of them, I don't sound whack. I can rap, I can hack, yeah, all that. Got the Cali booted up in my black hoodie on. Black hoodie on, black hoodie on. Got the Cali booted up in my black hoodie on. Get your terminals up as we listen to the song. Got the Cali booted up in my black hoodie on. Black hoodie on, black hoodie on. Got the Cali booted up in my black hoodie on. Get your terminals up as we listen to the song. This verse is for the career coaches. I really hope it hurts, cause y'all are the real vultures. You're lining up your purse that doesn't fit our culture. You're getting rich off the poor, you're a poser. I told ya, if you're good, you don't need the cash. Now you're gonna feel my wrath. I just want you to see the fact that more than half these acts are just a money trap. So I will trash in raps, I don't want none of that. And I will smash with passion every scummy act. If you react with madness, you can run it back. And if you disagree, your thinking's incomplete. Because they're preying on the noobs in our industry. And here's what we can do to bring their misery. We can make them feel accessible for you and me. All the content that we make, we do for free. Test. Hey, stupid microphone. OBS didn't have it set up right, but hope you guys enjoyed that song released that a while ago. Do want to be clear though, unlike all the other music, that is not AI generated. That is all original. I wrote that song, recorded that song, and mixed that song while I was live on stream. It's called Black Hoodie On. You can find it on my YouTube channel and download it for free. And I'm performing it at DefCon this year. DefCon just doesn't know about it yet. So if anyone has a connection to DefCon, I'm trying to speak this thing into existence. I want to perform Black Hoodie On at DefCon, like in the chill out room, Red Team Village, somewhere, heck, on the streets. I'm going to bring my own boombox at this point and just grab a microphone, and we're doing Black Hoodie On the streets of Vegas. But hope you guys enjoyed the song. It's been a while since I shared that. Let me know also. I'm assuming everyone can hear me okay, because no one's yelled at the mic or yelled in chat. My mic at first wasn't working, but I think I have it working now. Hack DefCon and put yourself on the schedule. Yeah, bet, dude. That'll be my plan. Hack DefCon. I'll cancel DefCon, then I'll uncancel it, and then I will be the main event for the whole thing. Like the opening ceremony will just be me on the stage. We'll hack like a machine live, and then we'll break down some Black Hoodie On music. But good to have you guys all hanging out. Just want to make sure everything's good. Am I going to DefCon this year? Absolutely, dude. It's like the one event I go to every year. Well, I've only I shouldn't say every year. I've only gone once before, because I've only been a pen tester for almost 2 years now. But last year was my first year at DefCon, which meant, I don't know if anyone else was at DefCon last year. I was disappointed in DefCon itself, but had a lot of fun with the social aspect. Like the DefCon itself was way too packed, way too much waiting. Like I remember waiting for like an hour and a half or something just to get in a Red Team Village, only to miss what I was waiting for. All the talks, yeah, I kid you not, you had to be in line 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours early just to attend a talk because the lines were so long. With the change of venue this year, I'm hoping that's a lot better, but literally what I ended up doing last year was just hanging out in the chill out room, doing CTFs, and hanging out with people, getting some hacker shenanigans. So I will be at DefCon, so if anyone is going to DefCon, would love to meet up with you and hang out. Simnag said, want to go, but very expensive. August is always super busy for me. Dude, tell TryHackMe to send you to DefCon. Yeah, like for real, if I was paying for DefCon, I wouldn't go. I think back in the early days of DefCon, it was probably a super cool event, like the smaller number of people and just more of a general community. But DefCon now is massive, for good or for bad. If I was paying my own money to go, I probably wouldn't go. But I don't pay anything. So where I work, which is awesome, they pay for all of it. So they even plan it all for me. Like I don't plan any of my flights. I don't plan my hotel room. They pay for all of it. They pay for my food every day. They pay for DefCon. They give me money for Uber so I can get around, or Lyft or whatever it is. So I pay nothing for DefCon. It's amazing. And I will be there this year. Really, really looking forward to it. But okay, y'all. How's everybody doing? It's been a few days. Not really. Been like 2 days. I was on here on was that Sunday night when I finally figured out how to complete the include room on TryHackMe. If you guys haven't done the include room on TryHackMe, I recommend it. That was a lot of fun. Won't spoil it too much, but it was a blast. $100. Like, you hire me when you become a manager. Yeah, dude, I got you. All right, guys, we're going to do some of the new TryHackMe rooms. At least that's the plan. There was one on XXE injection that looks fun, and I think one on Wireshark maybe. I didn't even look at that one. But we're going to start the XXE injection one. I'm going to start recording for YouTube, and then we will dive into the room. I'm a little bit tired. I stayed up way too late last night. Like, I'm on like 5.5 hours sleep, 6. Yeah, you need to pwn the stream and start a stream for Tyler to hire you. I don't have any hiring power. I get asked that a lot, but I am not like a leader at all where I work at Rhino. I'm just a lowly pen tester, but it's still awesome. I've been doing, I actually, before we jump to the recording, maybe some stuff that you guys might be excited about. I have CloudGoat. If you've ever heard of CloudGoat, it's like an open source AWS deployment tool that allows you to spin up AWS CTFs in your account that teaches you how to do AWS pen testing. I recently created my first CloudGoat scenario called SNS Secrets that allows you to use the newest Paku modules for initial access. That will be hopefully coming out very soon. You can actually go try it right now because CloudGoat's open source. If you go to CloudGoat, you can literally see my pull request in my branch there. You can pull it down and give it a shot. But in addition to that, I actually have a whole TryHackMe room for it that I created. It'll, of course, be private. It won't be an official room. Here, I'll actually get it pulled up real quick and I'll share my screen. I'll show you guys how cool this is. I love this part about TryHackMe. So on TryHackMe, share my screen in just a moment. So on TryHackMe, you can, create your own rooms, not public rooms. This, of course, won't be an official TryHackMe room, but for like my CloudGoat scenario called SNS Secrets, it's all on GitHub. There's a walkthrough on there as well, but I wanted to make an accompanying TryHackMe room, so I actually have it all on here, right? So it's an introduction to CloudGoat, how to launch the scenario, and then I have detailed steps on how to go through and accomplish the scenario, how to use Paku a little bit, and just going in a little more detail than a typical walkthrough. I'm not going to show you the final flag, but how to access the API gateway and all that stuff. So when I release that, you can actually get to this right now if you go to GitHub, but when I release that, it will be accompanied by an official TryHackMe room. So I have the GitHub with a README and a cheat sheet there. I have an official TryHackMe room that goes through the CloudGoat scenario, and I'll have a detailed video walkthrough, and I'll have a research blog post explaining everything. So I'm hard at work on all the documentation behind it, but the scenario and everything's ready. Had to use Terraform, which I've never used before, so that consisted of me banging my head against the wall and questioning my existence, but I eventually got it complete. The other thing I want to do that is kind of in, I don't know the right word for it. I'm blanking on my words, but in the hopper maybe, is I want to make a Getting Started with Paku video series. It'll be like a 6-part video series, shorter videos, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, where I walk you through all the way from like just getting Paku installed and doing some of the basic enumeration and privilege escalation built into Paku. If you don't know what Paku is, I even showed that real quick too, Paku GitHub. So this is Paku. It's created by Rhino Security Labs where I work, but it's an open source AWS exploitation framework. So basically Metasploit for the cloud is kind of how you can think of it. A bunch of different modules built into it. I'm working on updating some of the modules because some of them are just outdated. So I have, you can even see some of my, I think I have a few pull requests on here. Yeah, I was updating some permission stuff, fixing some new modules. I just fixed another new module, but that one got approved. But I want to create a getting started with Paku free, of course free, everything I do is free, video course, but then I also want to create CloudGoat scenarios that go alongside of it. So those would be much easier CloudGoat scenarios. So for example, one would be like, hey, you just need to get the permissions of your user role using Paku, and I guide you through how to use the Paku modules to do that. So that's another thing, guys, I am slowly working on. Really the next step for that is just me getting all the scenarios put together, which is way more time consuming than one would think. But just know that that's coming soon. Working on a lot of stuff offline that you don't see. So excited about all of that. So just stay tuned for all of it. Jeffrey said, done all the other CloudGoat scenarios. They're great. Yo, Jeffrey, you should contribute to CloudGoat. The other thing I did for CloudGoat is, all right, Somatic, have a good night, my friend. Get some sleep, dude. The other thing I did with CloudGoat is I created a sample scenario because one of the biggest issues I had was just figuring out the right Terraform I needed in order to use the right parameters, the right profile, the right IP whitelisting and all that stuff. So I created a full sample scenario that gives you like the basic building blocks to build your own CloudGoat scenario. And I also updated the contribution guidelines to be very clear on how you can contribute to CloudGoat. I think that's still a pending pull request, but that will get approved very soon and added to the main CloudGoat repo. So if you want to give back and contribute to an open source project that involves AWS and pen testing, and CloudGoat would be a cool place to do it. And hey, if you ever are interested in like working at Rhino, well, one of the best ways you can get connected with Rhino is by contributing to Paku or CloudGoat, some of our open source software. So just look into that. I think once again that will be approved soon, but you can see it as a pull request right now if you go to CloudGoat and get all that information yourself, including the sample scenario as some basic building blocks. So been busy. You guys can all check that out if you want. All right, drink of water, then we'll start recording for YouTube. All right. Here we go. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're gonna go through the new TryHackMe room all about XXE injection. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen. As usual, y'all, I haven't even looked at this room, have not attempted this room. So this is my kind of blind approach to this room. So I guarantee you, I'm gonna make silly mistakes. I'm probably gonna miss obvious things, but this is my raw reaction and my just working through this room. I hope we can do this together. So if you wanna do this alongside of me, I always forget to check. So you have to be a subscriber. So if you are a TryHackMe subscriber, I would encourage you to pull this up, launch the machine so it's ready to go. If you are not a TryHackMe subscriber, first you should subscribe. It's an awesome resource, but hey, even for free, there are like so many resources on TryHackMe completely free, but unfortunately, this room is not one of them. So you'll just have to live vicariously through me, but here's the cool thing. I'm gonna go through all of it. I'm gonna read every text. It's gonna be like we're sitting down together working on this room. And I wanted to change it up a little bit and do it a little bit differently. If I jump over to this, we're gonna attempt to use the attack box. Now, if you don't know what the attack box is, on TryHackMe, I recommend using your own VM, which is what I do 99.9% of the time. But for those of you who might be new, maybe you're on a computer that isn't powerful enough to spin up VMs, or you just don't know how to spin up a VM, you're just getting started. Well, the cool thing about TryHackMe is there is a VM, it's actually hosted in the cloud, but that you can access on your own called the attack box, hosted in your browser that contains many of the tools that you need in order to accomplish the scenario. Now, the one tool I want to do right away before we even start the scenario is Kato. So I want to get that installed on my attack box. I also like to do this. If I grab, see if I can change this real quick. I think if I go, nope. Preferences, I don't like it when the dock hides. Behavior, don't hide the dock because then I can never get back to it. And let's go ahead and install Kato. Kato is sort of like Burp Suite, but a lot more affordable. Oh, over on Discord, hey, X4230, that's actually not the correct Discord. Let me share with you the right one. Go to hacksmarter.org for the correct Discord. The link on Twitch is an old Discord that we no longer use. So if you go to hacksmarter.org, I'll even show it on my screen. Here's how you can join our Discord. You can just click that button. It will bring you directly to our Discord. The other cool thing about hacksmarter.org is we have community resources from a bunch of people who are part of our community. And hey, if you have a blog, you do write-ups, you have a YouTube channel, and you want to be featured down there, just tag me on Discord. I would love to add you. The only requirement is that you're like semi-active. So at least once a month, you're adding something new. But hacksmarter.org, you can get all of the resources right there. But what I want to do first is install Cato. Now, Cato is a web security auditing tool and proxy, sort of like Burp Suite, but written from the ground up in Rust. And the reason I prefer Cato over Burp Suite Community Edition is Burp Suite Community Edition severely rate limits you on any type of intruder or automatic fuzzing attacks. Cato, on the other hand, even with the free version, you are not rate limited at all, so you can do all those things without those restrictions. And if you want a paid version of Cato, it's super affordable. I don't even know what the pricing is now. So Pro is $16 a month. Now, you should have got Pro back when I got it because I got it at $10 a month, and I'm locked in at that rate because I was an early adopter. But I believe if you use Hack Smarter on checkout, you will get like $10 off your purchase. But this is Cato. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen just for a moment while I log into Cato, just so I can download it. You do need an account. Even for the free version, you'll need an account. All right, so here we are in Cato. What I'm going to do is we will download. We could just do the CLI because I don't think we have. We need a Chromium browser to use the desktop version, at least to use the proxy. Well, we can still download the desktop version. Yeah, I know I'm changing my mind over and over again, but we'll use the desktop version. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. All right, and then we'll open up our terminal. And we'll cd over to downloads, and we'll sudo dpkg I Cato. Oh, is that not where it downloaded at? Here we go, dpkg I Cato. Now, I don't usually use the attack box, so we'll see how this goes. If it goes terrible, I will switch over to my VM. Bottleneck said, I looked up how to edit Nightbot commands. This should be the syntax. Oh, cool. Let me try that. Hey, thank you. Let me see if that worked. All right, thank you. Yo, not default sec. Who was that? Bottleneck, you're the real MVP. Thank you for that. We have the Discord linked over on Twitch updated. Appreciate that. My phone is telling me it's time to stream on Twitch. All right, I'm already doing it. We're good to go. Okay, I have Cato installed. Now what we can do is we can just search for it. Well, I think I should just launch it. Let's see. Oh, the attack box might have some issues with Cato. Here, let me see if I can just use the CLI. I don't know if that would be any differently, but let's try it. We'll try both before I give up and switch to my own VM. tar xf Cato CLI ls Hey, there we go. Hey, the CLI works for us. That works for me. I'll take it. Gonna stop sharing just for a moment while I log into this instance. And call it TryHackMe. Application is now authorized. Okay, cool. We have Cato set up. So once we get Cato installed, we just need to do some initial setup. So we'll create a new project. And we have projects, blah, blah, super easy to do. So I'll just create a project and we'll just call it XXE injection. Default sec said, is there an unlimited number of instances that you can spin up in the free version? I believe so, yes. I don't believe there's any limit on the instances you spin up. Blah, blah, current project. Now we just need to grab the cert, just like burp. So we'll download our certificate, and then we'll go over to settings. View, import, that. Okay. Now, we should be good to go, I think. Let me go ahead and test this real quick. Let's go to we'll go to Hack Smarter, right? The only thing I don't like about using a machine like this is I can't Alt-Tab, right? Usually I'd Alt-Tab to switch back, but if I do that, I'll do it to my actual desktop. I just want to make sure I had queuing on. All right. Oh, maybe I should turn on the proxy. Is it not working? I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Shouldn't matter if it's burp because they both listed on 8080. I may be switching over to my own VM. Yeah, I think I'm going to. It wouldn't matter if I... Yeah, it's not getting anything. I know I could just use burp community edition on the attack box, right, to do this, but I don't like to. I like to use Kato and show off Kato. I'm guessing there might just be something weird with this configuration. Let me try one more thing. If I go to options, let me just create my own proxy real quick. And we'll call it Kato. We'll do 8080. All right, now let me try this again. Let me turn on Kato. No, I have no idea why it's not working. Oh, wait. All right, last attempt. What if I open a whole new window? Otherwise, sorry, attack box. That's what happens when I try to use something that's not my own VM. All right, I'm going to stop recording as well. We're just going to redo that whole first part for the actual YouTube video because there's no point of having me troubleshoot the attack box on the YouTube video. Anyone in chat have an idea of why this maybe isn't working? Maybe they set up filtering rules in Foxy Proxy? Maybe, but I'd assume when I relaunch this, it should have fixed it. Yeah, we're just going to switch to my real VM I normally use. Give me just a second, y'all. Thought I would show off the attack box, but not today. That would have been fixing, deleted it. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. There's probably just something weird with the attack box and me trying to use something else like Kato. It is all good. all part of the process. Yo, we got a super chat from Jimmy Barrios, if I'm saying that right, Barrios. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, dude. Your content is great. I've learned a lot from your videos. Dude, thank you for the kind words, for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. And I always forget to share that. So I will just say, if anyone does appreciate my content, you can show your appreciation in a few ways, but a couple of ways is over on YouTube. You can do a one-time donation with a super chat, or you can become a member of the channel for $5 or $10 a month. Over on Twitch, you can become a subscriber. Otherwise, just being here shows your appreciation. But thank you, Jimmy. I really do appreciate that, and for your kind words. All right, we're almost there. Here we go. All right, I'm going to start recording again for you. Actually, I need to get logged in. I'm not going to start recording again. I need to get logged in on my VM to TryHackMe and everything. Then I'll start recording. You guys can watch me. It's very exciting. Well. Alright. Shared the wrong thing. Get logged in to TryHackMe, and then I'll start recording for YouTube. And I suppose I can terminate the attack box too. Alright. That's all. Yeah, you're right, default sec. The next thing that will happen is the VM itself will freeze up and crash. Okay, I'm going to start recording. Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to work through the brand new room on TryHackMe, all about XXE injection. We're going to learn all about exploiting XML, not XX, XML external entities. That is a hard thing to say multiple times. XML external entities. And as usual, I have not looked at this room ahead of time, have not gone through it ahead of time. So I'm going to go through it for the first time blind, share with you my thought process, share with you my learning, and hey, hope you can join me. Now, to be clear, this is a subscriber only room. If you are not a subscriber to TryHackMe, hey, you should become one. It's definitely worth it. But even as a free TryHackMe account, you get access to a bunch of resources for free. But unfortunately, this room is not one of them. But here's a cool thing. You can live vicariously through me. So I'm going to go through this full room. I will read every text. We will work through it together. So even if you don't have a TryHackMe sub, you can at least get a taste of what it's like to have a sub. And you can learn right alongside me as we work our way through this room. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen. So here we are, XXE injection, exploiting XML external entities. And I do want to encourage you to lean in and pay attention to this room, because I've seen this in real world pen tests multiple times now at this point. Probably the coolest XXE I got. And I'm sure we'll showcase it here as we work our way through it. But I was able to get XXE, and I had file read on a real web server, like out in the, not wild, I was doing a pen test, but a real production web server. I had file read. I could read host name as a POC using XXE injection. So this is a very real world attack scenario. And even as I work through this, I'll try to give a little more additional context for my work as a pen tester if I can. Otherwise, as usual, I'm sure TryHackMe does a great job covering it. The one thing I'm going to do is a little bit different is we're going to do this room using Cato. Now, if you've never heard of Cato, it's a a web security auditing tool and proxy built from the ground up in Rust. So sort of like Burp Suite. But the reason I don't like using Burp Suite, at least Community Edition on stream, is because it rate limits you on intruder. Well, Cato, on the other hand, even with the free version of Cato, does not rate limit you. So even with the free edition, you're not rate limited at all. They don't have intruder. It has same functionality. They call it automate. So when I stream, I like to show off Cato. So let me go ahead and get Cato pulled up here. Here is Cato. And here's my local instance. We'll go ahead and start. And I'm going to go ahead and create a project. And we'll call this one XXE injection. For the TryHackMe room, we'll go over to Intercept. And we'll open up the browser built into it. You could use Firefox, but I don't know about you guys. I always forget to turn proxies on and off, or not proxy, Foxy proxy. And then I'm wondering why the page doesn't load. And it takes me a while to realize my obvious mistake. So I just like to use the built-in browser there, but just uses Chrome. So let's go ahead and dive into this. I'll zoom in a little bit. XXE, or XML External Entity Injection, is a type of security flaw that exploits vulnerabilities in an application's XML input. It occurs when an application accepts XML input that includes external entity references within the XML itself. I know this sounds confusing. So if at first this sounds super confusing, hang on, because although XXE sounds confusing when you first read about it, when you see it in practice, it begins to make a lot more sense. At least it did for me. Attackers can leverage this vulnerability to disclose local files, make server-side requests, or execute remote code. Given the widespread use of XML in web applications, particularly in web services and SOAP-based APIs, the severity of these vulns cannot be underestimated. And like I said before, I've seen this in real-world web app pen tests. I'm sure you see this in bug bounties. Let's actually check. Let's do this. HackerOne XXE injection. This is how I like to see some information about this and what people might be able to get to. So let's just read these first two reports. It says a researcher identified an XSE issue via JPEG upload. Researcher worked thus to validate, managed to escalate, and return the contents of Etsy password. So they had full file read. They responded by initially disabling and then further blocking access to the endpoint. Beautiful. So please see screenshots for full payload. Impact. So we have the screenshots here. Can I look at these real quick? Where's the... Okay. So was it they uploaded it here? PDF type thing with a collaborator link, it looks like. And then so it would have reached out to this collaborator link and then downloaded this DTD definition something document definition. I can't think of what the T stands for. And then it executes the code from that, or does the file read. Yep, and that's the DTD file, and they were able to read Etsy password. That's pretty cool. Do we have the bounty amount? Nope, but they got added to the Hall of Fame. Let's check out this other one. One that led to RCE, which will be processed by the XML parser, can use it by getting unauthorized access to the OS system. On the Department of Defense. Validated it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he ended up getting RCE. That's crazy. Just got RCE via this XSE because the base is this XSE. I'm not going to create a new report. Just update title and severity, please. POC and attachments. Install new service via local host using XXE. So you can see the XXE in here. I mean, it's all URL encoded. Copy XML to temp directory. Add JSP shell payload. Here's the JSP shell payload. Copy XML to JSP and web root. Go to your shell. Bro, that's insane. Wow. That's awesome. So once again, just showing you guys, these are real vulnerabilities. You get good at finding these, you can find some cool stuff in a pen test or in bug bounty. Laughed and said, yo, what up? By the way, did you know your YouTube isn't linked on InfoSec streams? It only does Twitch. Oh yeah, I need to go add that. I just need to do a pull request. I always notice that when I go to InfoSec streams myself, and I'm always like, hey, I'm going to do a pull request to add my YouTube, and I always forget. So if anyone wants to do a pull request while I'm on stream to add my YouTube to InfoSec streams, I would appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll do it. RC isn't real. It can't hurt you. Absolutely, it's not real. Nope. It's all fake. Alternative facts. All right, now that we showed that XXE really is a real attack scenario, let's dive into it. So objectives: recognize the fundamental concepts and dangers associated with XXC injection, identify vulnerable XML processing configurations and practices, develop techniques for detecting, exploiting, and mitigating XXC vulnerabilities in applications. So prerequisites: XML stuff, familiar with the web apps, and basic knowledge of OWASP Zap or Burp Suite, or Cato. Come on, TryHackMe. Cato's king now. Add Cato. Deploy the target VM, which I already did. And let me go ahead and access our machine. So there is our IP. Okay. Done. So what is XML? XML, or Extensible Markup Language, is a markup language derived from SGML, or Standard Generalized Markup Language, which is the same standard that HTML is based on. XML is typically used by applications to store and transport data in a format that's both human readable and machine parsable. It's a flexible and widely used format for exchanging data between different systems and applications. XML consists of elements, attributes, and character data, which are used to represent data in a structured and organized way. So XML syntax and structure. XML elements are represented by tags, which are surrounded by angle brackets. Tags usually come in pairs, with the opening tag preceding the content and the closing tag following the content. For example, so we can see the declaration up here. We're declaring a user ID of 1, and then it's almost like these are attached to that. So who is our ID 1 user? We have John. 30, we have his address, and then we close the user tag, which you can imagine if you can include an external definition here and it will attempt to load it, and that's where some of these vulnerabilities come from. Laughin says, if I may ask, what keeps you using Burp Pro at work? Is it a licensor thing, or do you actually prefer Burp Pro? No, I do prefer Burp Pro for actual web app pen testing for now. And the reason I prefer Burp Pro is because of all the extensions. So there's a bunch of Burp Pro extensions I use all the time that Cato just doesn't quite have that functionality yet. So that's why I use Burp Pro for actual web app pen testing. But Cato's quickly catching up, and I wouldn't recommend purchasing a Burp Pro license just for those things, because there's ways you can do that on your own, but it just speeds up the process having it as an extension in Burp. Yeah, Community Edition sucks in my opinion, Laughin. Community Edition I hate because it rate limits intruder attacks, right? Like I showed this when I did the include room. You can check out this video, but when I did the include room, you have to fuzz for LFI, and you can't even use Burp because it's rate limited, so you have to like use FFUF to try to get all the parameters right. Well, with Cato, even the free version of Cato, I did like 40 threads and went through a word list of like 900 things in seconds, right? And you can do that all for free with Cato. There is no rate limiting. So that's why I prefer it over Community Edition. I used to, when I did CTFs on stream, I would use Burp Suite Pro because that's what I use at work. But I had a lot of people saying like, this is cool. You show me how to solve it using Burp Pro, but I don't have Burp Pro. And it was kind of limiting. So I was like, all right, screw Burp Pro. I'll use Cato when I'm on stream because anyone can follow along, because the free version of Cato provides the functionality you need. Do I have a Cato link? Yeah, if you go to cato.io. This is what it is, cato.io. You can download it, and you'll see it in action shortly. All right, the tag John represents an element named name, right? With the content John, attributes provide additional information about elements and are specified within the opening tag. The tag user ID equals 1 specifies an attribute ID with the value 1 for the element user. Character data refers to the content within elements such as John. The example above shows a simple XML document with elements, attributes, and character data. The tag declaration indicates the XML version, and the element contains various sub-elements and attributes representing user data. Common use cases in web applications. XML is widely used in web apps for data exchange, storage, and configuration. It's often used for web services and APIs such as SOAP and REST to exchange data between systems. XML is also used for configuration files such as web server configurations or application settings. So, what is XSLT? Extensible Style Sheet Language Transformations. Wow. Is a language used to transform and format XML documents. While that is primarily used for data transformation and formatting, it is also significantly relevant to XXC attacks. It can be used to facilitate XXC attacks in several ways. Number 1, data extraction. It can be used to extract sensitive data from an XML document, which is what we saw on the Etsy password one on HackerOne, which can be used in an XXE attack. Well, I guess not quite. For example, a style sheet can extract user credentials or other sensitive information from an XML file. Entity expansion. It can expand entities defined in an XML document, including external entities. This is what I'm thinking of. This can allow an attacker to inject malicious entities, leading to an XXE vulnerability. That's also what led to the RCE on that Department of Defense one. Data manipulation. It can manipulate data, potentially allow an attacker to inject malicious data or modify existing data to exploit an XXE vulnerability. And finally, blind. It can be used to perform blind attacks in which an attacker injects malicious entities without seeing the server's response. But if you set up like a collaborator URL or a C2 server at the public IP, you can still see the response. So I always, like, it's not usually fully blind, right? Blind implies there's no way of telling, but there's always a way of telling, even if it's like blind SQL, right? Time-based. But that is the proper word. It's always a little bit confusing, though. So what are DTDs? DTDs are document type definitions. That was what the T was. Define the structure and constraints of an XML document. They specify the allowed elements, the attributes, and the relationships between them. DTDs can be internal within the XML document or external in a separate file. So purpose and usage. DTDs validate the structure of XML to ensure it meets specific criteria before processing, which is crucial in environments where data integrity is key, and entity declaration. DTDs define entities that can be used throughout the XML doc, including external entities which are key in XXE attacks. Our internal DTDs are specified using the doc type declaration, while externals are referenced using the system keyword. See some information there. The example above shows an internal DTD structure, blah, blah. All right, I think we're almost to the practical part. DTDs play a crucial role in XXE injection as they can be used to declare external entities. External entities can reference external files or URLs, which can lead to malicious data or code injection, which I think that's how that person uploaded that JSP web shell was with that. XML entities. XML entities are placeholders for data or code that can be expanded within an XML document. There are 5 types: internal entities, external entities, parameter entities, general entities, and character entities. An example in external entity, right? So it's saying, hey, we are defining an external entity here at test DTD, so document type definition file. And then when we load external, it's going to load this right here. So when it sees external, it's going to load this, which you can imagine if you did external, you could do file actually, and then Etsy password is one way you can do that. But here would be an external one. Types of entities. Internal are essentially variables used within a document. They are defined in the DTD and can simplify the management of repetitive tasks, right? So we're defining an entity called inf, and it's this is a test. So when it prints info on this note, it will just say this is a test. So anywhere you see that, maybe it's down here again, it's this is a test. External ones are similar to internal, but their contents are referenced from outside, such as a separate file or URL. This feature can be exploited if the XML processor is configured to resolve. So this is what I found on a real web app when I abused it, was I was able to abuse this specific attack right here in order to read, I think it was Etsy host as a PLC. I'm sure we'll get into it. Parameter entities are special types used to define reusable structures. They're particularly used for modularizing DTDs or maintaining large-scale XML apps. I haven't done much of this before. So we have our entity common, CData, name CData. Oh, that the name. Oh, just the name element should contain. I got you. I haven't played around with this at all. Parameter entities. Well, yeah, I should have read root.txt. I should. Default sex, it'd be great to see you work through some blind and time SQL rooms since you do explain so well. PortSwigger has some good stuff on that. We'll have to do some PortSwigger SQL injection soon. All right, general entities are similar to variables and can be declared either internally or externally. They are used to define substitutions that can be used within the body of the XML document. Unlike parameter entities, general entities are intended for use in the document content. For example, entity author John Doe, and then, John Doe. Wow, character entities are used to represent special reserved characters. They prevent misinterpreting the XML syntax, so less than, greater than, ampersand. Use less than to represent less than symbol. Gotcha. Oh, sweet, we have a nice table here. All right. Entity, a placeholder, blah, blah. So we can have a general entity, parameter entity. We have our character entity,
Our mixed content entity makes me think of mixed reality. And what are we seeing here? So we do this. Unparsed contains content that cannot be parsed. Oh, sound, graphics, non-character data. External, internal, name, entity, numbered entity. Lots of freaking entities. My goodness. Oh, we got another super chat? My goodness. Hey, Brian Kaplan over on YouTube with the $9.99 super chat. Dude, thank you so much for the super chat, for the encouragement. Really do appreciate your generosity and you hanging out and being here. So thank you, my friend, for sharing. Really appreciate it. All right, let's keep going. Oh, we got some acronym questions. What is the meaning of the acronym SGML? I don't freaking know. Standard Generalized Markup Language. Of course, bro. That's all I talk about. I know this one. Document. Oh, if I could type document type definition. There we go. All right. XML parsing mechanisms. Can I add one hour to my machine or not yet? Oh, not yet. XML parsing is a process by which an XML file is read and its information is accessed and manipulated by a software program. XML parsers convert data from XML format into a structure that a program can use, like a DOM tree. During this process, parsers may validate XML data against a schema or DTD, ensuring the structure conforms to certain rules. If a parser is configured to process external entities, it can lead to unauthorized access to files, internal systems, or external websites. So common XML parsers. And even on this, maybe I'll get to that, but one way you can also abuse this is if you can get it to access external websites, you can almost get SSRF or server-side request forgery. Many things are hosted in the cloud, so then you can hit the metadata endpoint like in AWS and possibly get AWS credentials if you can abuse XXE plus SSRF. It's an interesting attack. Anyways, several blah blah, which can affect vulnerabilities. So we have the DOM parser. This method builds the entire XML doc into a memory-based tree structure, allowing random access to all parts of the document. It is a resource-intensive but very flexible. We have the SAX, which is a simple API for XML. It parses XML data sequentially without loading the whole document into memory, making it suitable for large XML files. However, it is less flexible. We have the Stacks, or the streaming API. Similar to SAX, the Stacks parses XML docs in a streaming fashion. It gives the programmer more control over the XML parsing process. And finally, the XPath parser parses an XML document based on expression and is used extensively in conjunction with XSLT. What XML parser builds the entire XML doc in a memory-based tree structure, allowing random access? That was the first one. That's our DOM parser, ladies and gentlemen. DJ B6 said, oh snap, Tyler is live. I'm going to put you over on my other monitor while I work. No, this is what you do. You put your work on the other monitor and I go on your main monitor. That is the proper way to watch. But good to have you here, my friend. Default Sucks said, this room has way too much info for me to process all at once. Yeah, sort of, but I mean, it's nice that it gives the theory behind it, because I'm even learning stuff. Like, I've exploited this in the real world, and I'm learning some of the background stuff, but once you see it, we're going to do it now. Once you see it in practice, you don't need to know all the theory to exploit it, trust me. You just need to know, like, hey, this might be vulnerable to it, and how to possibly exploit it. So, I think we're going to dive into the practical stuff is. Yes, we are. Beautiful. All right, in-band XXE refers to an XXE vuln where the attacker can see the response from the server. So that's the key. In-band, we can see it, right? In-band, it's in sight. This allows for straightforward data exfiltration and exploitation. The attacker can simply send a malicious payload to the application, and the server will respond with the extracted data or the result of the attack. Out of band, on the other hand, refers to an XSE vulnerability where the attacker cannot see the response from the server. This requires using alternative channels like what I talked about, such as DNS or HTTP requests to exfiltrate data. To extract the data, the attacker must craft a malicious XML payload that will trigger an out-of-band request, such as DNS query or an HTTP request. All right, in-band XXE exploitation, we're going to be using burp. No, we're not. Real hackers use Cadle. Thank you very much. And we're going to do the contact.php form. Let's just check this out. Contact.php. Please subscribe. All right, let's just see what this looks like. So you can see it right here. You can see our XML request. If I send that over to repeater, there's our XML request, so we can add some entities and stuff here. If I hit send, does it actually reflect it in the document? Thank you. Please subscribe. Your message has been received. I'm actually curious if there's a few different ways I could actually exploit this. Can I get... No, that probably wouldn't work. So you can see it's reflecting our name right there. So if we replace our name with an external entity or something along those lines, we will be able to exploit it. And I'm guessing that's what it's going to lead us to do. The submitted data is processed by contact submit.php, which contains a vulnerable PHP code designed to return the value of the name parameter when a user submits a message in the form. Below is a vulnerable code. So it's not disabling the entity loader, and we have if the request method equals post, and then we're starting a variable called XML data, and we're getting whatever the user puts in. We have our new DOM documents. That's our DOM document parser, and then we are spitting out the text content, and there's no validation or anything. Since the application returns a value of the name parameter, we can inject an entity that is pointing to Etsy password to disclose its values. So I'm going to copy this. Mine doesn't have the nice formatting here, but if we go like that, so we define our external entity right here with Etsy password, we know that it's working on our name, so we just need to call instead of hello. We'll say, hey, XXE. I think my syntax there is correct. And then when it tries to load, instead of doing a name, it's going to try to load Etsy password, I think, if I did that right. Okay, I did not do that right. Oh, I need to declare an element first right here, I believe. I think, yeah. Is that all I'm missing? I think so. Let me try to grab this. The frick? Maybe not. Can I copy this? Oh, do I need to declare... Wait, since the application turns, we can inject an entity that's pointing to Etsy password to close its values. Oh, okay, so I don't need even the XML stuff here. I need the doc type foo type thing right there, I think. Let me try that. Okay. So we had to declare the doc type. If I go back where it didn't work, we had the XML version 1. What I apparently needed to do was declare the doc type up there with our fake stuff, our element, and then it would work, right? It's the only change I made, and now it's not going to change again. I can just copy it. I wish this would be one Cato request is when you do this in Burp, the reason it throws me off is Burp makes it look really nice for you like this. Whereas Cato, you can see it's all just on one line, which people smarter than me, that wouldn't affect them, but it definitely affects me when I see it that way. Anyways, we have home, TryHackMe, blah, blah. See it a little better that way. How about, do I need to get a flag or anything? Yeah. Well, let's finish going through here. All right, XML entity expansion. XML entity expansion is a technique often used in XSE attacks that involves defining entities within an XML document, which the XML parser then expands. I think you can use a DOS attack with this. Can abuse this feature by creating recursive or excessively large entities, leading to denial of service. Yeah, like I said, I think it's called like the lull or infinite lulls or something. Blah, blah. This method is essential to both in-band and out-of-band XXE as it allows attackers to inject malicious entities into the XML data. For example, foo any, this is a test message, so it'd just be this is a test message, this is a test message, blah, blah. We can copy this. Well, can I just copy this in, or does it all have to be on one line in Cato? Yeah. I think it's called the infinite lol attack or lol something or lol death. We'll have to look it up. And the above payload is expanded wherever it appears. Attackers can use entity expansion to perform billion laughs attack. That's what it's called. The billion laughs attack, where a small XML document recursively expands to consume server resources, leading to denial of service attack. Should we try it on the TryHackMe shoot room? Maybe I'll try it on the end. Once we're done with the room, we'll see if we can do a billion laughs attack and crash the server. Just for the lulz. All right. What XXE vulnerability occurs when the server's response is immediately disclosed? That's in band XXE. I just don't know what specific syntax they're looking for there. Is it just in band XXE? Okay. Reckless Gizmo said, I think you should. All right, let's do it. What is the content of that file in the op directory? All right, let's grab our file. Let's go back over to Cato. And we'll go back to our file read. And what we need to do is grab our file from the op directory like that. And there it is. In band is sexy. I think that's what it's saying. Sassy. Sassy? I don't know what it's trying to say. Easy. Oh, not sexy, not sassy. Easy. I need to work on my elite speech, obviously. All right, out of band. Don't let me forget. We're going to do the billion laughs attack at the end. Someone remind me once we finish the room. 010, not leet. Yeah, I know. Totally not leet. On the other hand, to demonstrate this vulnerability, go to index.php. All right, let's check this out. Oh, did I ever turn off intercept? I did not turn off intercept. Okay. You guys think ChatGPT would see the vulnerability in this code? I would hope so. Let's check. Here, let me just stop sharing while I log into ChatGPT. Oh, it identifies it right away. Look at that. XML external entity injection. The code uses the disable entity loader and the libxml noent and libxml dtt load, which can make the application vulnerable to XZ attacks. This could allow an attacker to read arbitrary files. Oh, maybe SQL injection. Oh, it's saying it's possible. Just make sure it's there. The XML data reads directly from PHP input without any validation. This can lead to various attacks, including XML and potentially unsafe file links. So it says how to fix it. So that's pretty cool. It identified it right away and gave us the safe code. Sweet. The code above doesn't return the values of the submit XML data, hence the term out of band, since the exfiltrated data has to be captured using an attacker-controlled server. For this attack, we will need a server that will receive data from other servers. You can use Python's HTTP server module, although there are options out there like Apache or Nginx. Using attack box of your own machine, start a Python web server by using this command. Oh, not netcat. Upload a file in the application among the request that is sent. For the request, burp, not repeater. Nope, Cato. But okay, let's upload a file. We could do it to... Do I have like a picture? We have some screenshots. Do I have something small? Let's just make a small file real quick. Wait. All right, now we have a small file. We'll go to home, TryHackMe. Does TryHackMe exist? And XXE injection. Hello? Oh, whoops. I meant to capture that with burp. Or not burp, frick, Kato. Send over to replay, hit send. What does it do? It gives us the link. Am I on the wrong page? Oh, let me scroll up. Maybe I'm on the wrong page. Index.php? No, I'm definitely on index.php. My request isn't sent to submit. My request is a post request to upload.php. Am I crazy, guys? I feel like this should be submit.php, not upload.php. What? Sort of confused here. What if I do an image? It's like I'm on the wrong endpoint. They said go to index.php. You guys can see me. I'm on index.php. Upload a file and monitor the request that is sent to submit.php. The post request doesn't go to submit.php, it goes to upload.php, and it does not include XML in it. Someone in chat, guys, am I missing something obvious here? Or is this the wrong endpoint? Anyone have ideas? Well, it's a file upload. Can I just get a shell on it for fun? YOLO. Screw it. We'll just get a shell. I don't know if this will actually work though. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't work. What the heck though? This is not the this isn't the right endpoint. Well, I can just play around with some file stuff. Do I have stored cross-site scripting at least? Then I'll figure out the proper way to do this. But I don't think this is a me issue. I think there's a minor issue here with the room. Haha! I have stored cross-site scripting. What? All right, let me go back to figuring out what's going on. Post to upload. All right, what am I looking for? Submit.php. Upload a monitor request that's sent to submit.php. Here's a request. Oh, how come I didn't see this? I see it here. Ooh, now I'm very confused. So it's not a TryHackMe issue, it's a me issue. But why did Cato... It's like, you can see this all my HTTP history. How come Cato wasn't picking up on that? Let me try it again. All right, so there's our post to upload.php. Oh, and there's the submit.php. Okay, it was just a me issue, not a TryHackMe issue. There it is. But hey, that was still fun. I got stored cross-site scripting. Thought I was going to get PHP web shell, but I didn't. Anyways, let me go back to this. All right. Upload a file, my request that is sent to submit.php for the request to burp repeater, blah, blah. Using the payload below, replace the value of the XML file in the request and resend it. Note that you have to replace that. So instead of just script kidding it, I will copy this, but let's understand what's going on here. So we're declaring our document type up there. We're declaring a new element, right? And then we have our entity. And this is our external entity, so we're calling it XXE, which we've already done. The difference, though, is remember before we did file etc password, like internally. Now we're going externally, so it's going to hopefully hit our web server here. We do need to replace the attacker IP, so we'll do 10.13.46.224, and we will click send. And you see we have a hit on our attacker IP from the machine. And now I bet we're going to make a DTD right here. So we'll touch like malicious.dtd, and then it will reach out to our document type definition and process whatever command we have there on the server. At least I'm guessing that's what we're going to do. Yep, we got that. Yeah, exactly what I said. We're now going to create a DTD file that contains an external entity with a PHP filter to extract data from the target web application. Save the sample DTD file below and name it as sample.dtd. I will just say this, though. In a pen test, this is usually enough, right? Just demonstrating this. This alone, what we just did, demonstrates XXE vulnerability that you could report to a client. The next part is just taking it a step further to see if you can exploit it. But this request right here on its own is enough to demonstrate XXE, for those of you who might be a little bit confused by all the information. But all right. We're going to create a sample.dtd that will extract the contents of etc password and send the response back to us. So we're just doing some PHP filtering, common PHP filtering type stuff right here, and we want to read etc password, and we're going to have it do our command. So let's copy that, and we'll read through this. So the DTD begins with the declaration of an entity that points to a system resource. The CMD entity refers to a resource within the PHP filter protocol. So that's this right here. It retrieves the content of etc password, a standard file in Unix, blah, blah, blah. The convert base64 encode filter encodes the content in base64 format to avoid formatting problems. That out-of-bound XXE entity contains another XML entity declaration, exfil, which has a system identifier pointing to an attacker-controlled server. So we're going to make two requests, I think. It includes a parameter named data with CMD right there, right? So we're going to see this in our web server. We're going to see a request to our web server that appends etc password in base64 format. Creates exfil, blah, blah. Yeah. All right, go back to repeater, and then we're, okay, got it. So let's copy this, and I'm going to call mine because I'm cool. And we'll update our IP to 10.13.46.224, like so. And then we'll host our web server. And now we just need to go back to repeater right here. And I think we just need to update this so it grabs it. Like that. The file, we can leave ours the same. We're just doing XXE still. I think that all looks good to me. Right, let's give it a send. And I didn't do it right. Okay, maybe I need to copy this. Oh, I have to fully declare it up there. I see. Let's try this again. 10.13.46.224. We'll call this Hack Smarter. And now we'll try it. Boom, and there we got it. And now we can take this, we can copy it, and we can just do echo like that. Pipe it over to base 64-D to decode, and we have etc password. Resend the request, check your terminal, blah, blah. You received 2 requests. The first one was for that file, right, which we saw that. The first one was for our document, well, this one. The first one was for our document definition file, and the second was that base 64 encoded etc password. And then, yeah, I guess you could use CyberChef, but I like to use the terminal because it's quicker. What kind of XXE vulnerability occurs when the response of the server is not visible to the attacker? Out of bound XXE? I just don't know what they want there. I'm guessing that's what it is. Out of band, I should say. All right, SSRF. Server-side request forgery attacks occur when an attacker abuses functionality in a server, which, hey, if you have not done the new include room on TryHackMe, you have to abuse SSRF in that room, so check it out. Causing the server to make requests to an unintended location. In the context of XXE, an attacker can manipulate XML input to make the server issue a request to internal services or access internal files. This technique can be used to scan internal networks, access restricted endpoints, or interact with services that are only accessible from the server's local network. Once again, if you have not seen my walkthrough on include.thm or the include room on TryHackMe, I take it a step further, even do this with SSRF map. We do some internal network scanning. Oh, we're going to do it right here. Oh, cool. Consider a scenario where a vulnerable server hosts another web app internally on a non-standard point. An attacker can exploit an XSE vuln that makes the server send a request to its own internal network resource. For example, using the capture request from an in-band XSE task, send the capture request to burp intruder and use the payload below. Was that this one? Yes, SSRF map, Reckless Gizmo. Have you ever heard of it? Let me show it to you guys. There's some modules built into this. So with this, you can do like internal port scanning and stuff. It's pretty cool. But if you want to see it in action, check out my video on include. And I show it in action. I'm not sure how well it would work with XXE injection. Anyways, send this capture request to burp intruder and use the payload below. Oh, so we're just scanning it. Also, here we go, guys. If you do this in Burp Suite Community Edition, it's freaking trash. If you try to scan all this in Burp Suite Community Edition, y'all, it would take you forever. I'm actually surprised they're doing this because it would rate limit you quite a bit. Anyways, I can do it though. With this, I'm going to send this guy over to automate here, right? I'll replace this with this. We'll just call this 1337. And I want to mark this as my port right there. And for my payload, can I do so that, to be fair, one thing that is missing is over on burp, you can do, let me show it. Maybe they show it in here. Yeah, so on burp, you can just do payloads like here from 1 to 65,535 by step of 1, and then you can do it that way, but we can also just say, all right. 65,000. Be super simple, is just like 4i in whatever, and then you would print it out. 65,535. Which I know I could do this myself, y'all, but it would take me a little bit to remember the syntax. But like I said, 4i and then just sequential 1 to that, do that, echo it out, and then we'll save it. But we'll just copy that, go here, should just be able to run it. Maybe not. What? I think I messed up my file. There we go. All right, now I think if in Cato, if I do, I guess I'll do a hosted file. Home. TryHackMe. But this is one of the reasons I still use Burp Suite Pro for actual pen testing, because it's these little things like this that I'm used to just doing it in Burp, right? But I guarantee you, as time goes on, Cato will have all of this stuff. But now we can go to automate. We have that. We want our hosted file of ports.txt, and let's just yellow this, like number of workers, freaking 40. Whoops, numlock needs to be turned on. All that stuff looks good, and run. You do the same request in Burp, it's going to take you forever, at least in Burp Community Edition. Which is why I'm actually really surprised that TryHackMe Room has you do that. Is anyone in chat do this the Burp way? We haven't found it yet. Let's check that out. Burp Suite Community Edition. Oh, they're skipping 5 ports at a time? I didn't notice that. No, they're not. They're going by steps 1. They're just doing max integer digits, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they're going by steps of 1. So they're legit scanning 65,000 stuff with freaking Burp Suite Community Edition, which would take forever, I'd imagine. I don't know how I got to this. Burp Suite Community Edition. Community Edition is limited to single threading with an intruder, but this should only make sending across slightly slower, whatever, for this lab. So just single threading. I'm doing this right now in Cato with 40, I think, 40 threads. Dang, this is even going to take forever. Rainlet said, just joining in, what box is this? We're just doing the new XXE injection room. But for this one, you have to freaking hit every port. Oh, I found it already. That's why they let you do it, maybe because it's 81, so it's not going to take forever to find it. But you can see it right there. So I guess that's why they do it. You don't have to scan all 65,000 ports. It would just take until you hit the 81, and then you would have seen it. I don't know why I didn't see it when I was looking, but there's 81. But we are scanning. We can see. So internally, for this to make sense, internally, port 81's open. It is not open outside on the internet. So we cannot actually hit this ourselves outside on the internet. It's only open internally, but it's open there, and there's our flag. Rainlet's a good try for Fuff. Yeah, we found it. I mean, Kato's just as fast as Fuff, though. We can use just the same amount of workers with Kato as we can with Fuff. But there's our flag. We'll go ahead and grab that. We can pause that. But once again, that's why I prefer Kato over Burp for any type of streaming stuff like that. How fast do you think we can make Kato go without breaking it? Watch this, guys. What if I do this? Will this break the server, do you guys think? YOLO. Nope, that doesn't break it. Oh, yeah. We do have to do our billion laughs at the end. Hold up. Oh, shit, I can't even pause it. Is there a limit? Is there a limit to how many workers? I'm going to break my VM. Just give it a shot. Oh, no, it's doing it. I think. It's trying to. No, I don't think I can do 1,000. All right. I'm going to freaking break stuff pretty soon. Oh, no, it's doing its thing. Look at that. It's doing it. It found it like in a second. All right. I'll stop. I'll stop trying to break it. We'll DOS the application at the end. All right, mitigation. Avoiding misconfigurations. Misconfigurations in XML parser settings are a common cause of XXE-related vulnerabilities. Adjusting these settings can significantly reduce the risk of XXE attacks. Below are detailed guidelines and best practices for several popular programming languages, blah, blah. So disable external entities and DTDs. This is actually what ChatGPT told us when we were looking at it with ChatGPT. As a best practice, disable the processing of external entities and DTDs in your XML parser. Most XSE vulns arise from malicious DTDs, which the one I found in a web app did arise from that. Use less complex data formats. Where possible, consider using simpler data formats like JSON, which do not allow the specification of external entities. And 3, allow listing input validation. Validate all incoming data against a strict schema that defines expected data types and patterns. Exclude or escape XML-specific characters such as that. These are crucial in XML syntax and can lead to injection attacks if misused. Java, use a document builder factory and disable DTDs. .NET, configure XML readers to ignore DTDs and external entities. So prohibit right there, DTT processing prohibit, and don't resolve. PHP, disable loading external entities by libxml, which we saw this in all the code up above. This was set to false. That's why it was vulnerable. All the PHP code we looked at. Python, use the diffuse XML library, which is designed to mitigate XML vulns. Regularly update and patch. That's always a good idea. Gotta patch it, right, if we're on Simply Cyber. Security patches. Security awareness and code reviews. Conduct code reviews. Even ChatGPT found the vulnerable code right away. And promote security training. All right. Conclusion and billion laughs attack. XXE attacks arise from improper handling of user-supplied input in web apps, particularly In XML parsing, attackers exploit vulnerable XML processors to inject malicious external entities, leading to data exfiltration, server compromise, or denial of service. XSE vaults can be prevented by disabling external entity expansion, validating user input, and using secure XML parsing libraries. Additionally, implementing security best practices such as input validation, output encoding, and secure coding practices can significantly reduce the risk of XSE attacks. Regular security audits, code reviews, and training on secure development practices are essential for identifying and mitigating XSE vaults. By understanding the risks and taking proactive measures, developers and administrators can protect their web apps from XSE attacks and ensure the security and integrity of their systems. Recap of key concepts. Understanding XML. We spent a lot of time going through theory and understanding it. We talked about the parsing mechanisms, the different ones. We talked about entities and all that good stuff. We exploited it in a few different ways. We did SSRF to scan internal ports with XXE. We worked on mitigation. We saw some basic ways to mitigate it as well. I can now exploit XXE vulnerabilities. I have completed the room. Share it with my friends. You guys are my only friends, but you haven't completed the room until you've done the billion laughs attack. Hopefully I don't get in trouble from TryHackMe. Blah, 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 blah. So you can see all the things that we already kind of talked about. Error-based stuff. Wouldn't really talk about error-based things, but is this all I have to do? Oh, it didn't work. Maybe they have protection against it. If you are seeing this, you must not have opened this in IDE. It would be all too ironic to crash your IDE with the very same exploit you're trying to prevent. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, they must have protection against it, y'all. The billion laughs attack. See if there's any other ones I can try, but yeah, it's the same one we tried. All right, is there any other cool stuff we can do? Can we abuse it via SVG? Let's, just for fun, because we had that file upload. cmd.svg. All right, SVG is the image format. Matter of fact, SVGs can be abused in other ways, because if there's this cool guy, named Tyler Ramsby who got his CVE on Go CMS, which is a major CMS used by like Apple, Mozilla, and stuff, via uploading an SVG file that led to stored cross-site scripting. And I even heard that he made a pull request and Ghost finally approved the pull request. So they finally approved my patch, and this has now been officially patched in their main repo. But I also heard that dude is so cool. He made a PLC that allows you to generate a malicious SVG file to abuse it. So yeah, Tyler Ramsby, nice dude. You guys should check him out if you haven't heard of him before. But he found that doing some SVG stuff. But can I execute commands with this if we go to the file upload feature on here? Especially since we can get to our files. TryHackMe and XXE injection, and we are command.svg. Doesn't seem to work. This is a guy that loves the. Yeah, I heard that Tyler's a big fan of the OSCP. Like he loves OffSec. It's his favorite security organization of all time by far. Even made a love song about them. Okay, so I can't abuse it that way. I was hoping I could. So the only unintended thing is we have some stored cross-site scripting here. Right. Trying to think if there's anything else interesting we could do there, but I don't think so. We'll call it a day on this one. Let me just quickly read through here to see if there's anything else interesting that we've done. Or that we haven't done, I should say. I think the room pretty much covered all this other stuff, right? And this is what we did. We did this in the room with Etsy password. Okay, I think we pretty well covered XXE injection. So hey, for those of you watching after the fact on YouTube, appreciate you taking the time, hanging out with me, and working our way through this. I was really hoping we could do the billion laughs attack and have some fun with that, but TryHackMe apparently knew I was going to try that, and they defended against it. So that's not going to work. Looking over at YouTube, Studio M44 just became a member of the YouTube channel. Yo, dude, Studio M44, thank you, my friend, for the support. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for becoming a member. You are part of the Cool Kid Club now. So thank you for joining the coolest people on the internet, aka the YouTube members. But for those of you watching this video after the fact, thank you for being here. And hey, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. All right, now I'm just with you guys. Well, that's a pretty well done room, I think, in my opinion. Let me switch some more things around. Should we knock out the other new room on TryHackMe? Let me look at what it's even about here. I'll share my screen while we do it. Terminate this machine. You know, is there like an XXE map? Oh, what's this? Oh, 4 years ago. Maybe it's not great. This might be a tool that would be, if I didn't already close the machine, I would try that tool on it. Oh well. What's the other one? T-Shark? T-Shark's like Wireshark in the command line interface, right? Oh yeah, command line version. How long does it say? Oh, 120 minutes? Okay, maybe not. I don't think I want to do another 120-minute room. How long have I been on now? An hour and a half? Should we do some Hack the Box now? There's no new challenge machines, right? I've done the latest challenge machine. Dude, we have another member over on YouTube. Greg Taylor. Welcome to the party, pal, as they would say in Simply Cyber. Thank you for becoming a member. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, my friend. Bottleneck said Hack the Box would be great. Yeah, let's maybe choose a random Hack the Box challenge. Just get logged into Hack the Box. And I'm going to get logged into Notion as well, which is where I take notes. And getting logged into Hack the Box. All right. Now, just a reminder, because I know every once in a while I'll get asked to do an active machine. As much as I would love to do the active machines, I'm not allowed to live stream active machines. Hack the Box will come after you. So I can't do the active machines. I can only do the retired machines on stream. And we also try to keep it to easy for a few reasons. First of all, Hack the Box easy is not easy. It's like a Hack the Box easy machine is about a TryHackMe medium machine. And the other reason I try to keep it to easy is if you do medium or hard on Hack the Box, although you learn quite a bit, those can turn into like, 3 streams to complete the machine. And I try not to have like 4 parts to a machine. So I think it loses people's focus, like they don't track. So I try to just keep it easy. And the cool thing about easy is we can also do guided mode if or when we get stuck. Let's go back. I try to look at ratings right here. Like some of these look like they may be good. Let's go back a little further though. Knife looks almost too easy. Explore looks decent. We have a 4.2 rating on Explore. That might be one. Oh, Antique. Antique has a 4.5 rating. Oh, we have a 4.6 rating on Delivery. 7. I think Business recently got retired. I heard it's a pretty fun machine. I haven't done it though. Business. Here, let me open up. Where is that 4.5 at? Let's open up Antique. And let's check out, see if I can find Business. Is this what it's called? I don't know if Business was retired or not. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's called Business. Maybe I did it. I don't know where Business is at. What's it called? It's just called Business. Oh, there it is. Oh, I did it. I apparently already did Business, so we won't do Business. I like to do ones I haven't done. Why does this have such a bad rating? Dang, only 2.8? Rough. All right, let's switch some things around. Then we might take a short 5-minute break before we dive into this. Why do I have so many? All right, cool. We on. Do you think it's going to give me an IP this time? You guys remember last time I kept getting stuck in these infinite loops where it wouldn't give me an IP no matter what browser or what machine I used? Let's see if Antique gives me an IP. I think you did it before I got retired because it was the first machine of last season. Oh gosh, yeah, I probably did it when it was an active machine. Come on, Hack the Box, please don't do this to me. Can you please just freaking give me an IP? Can I share my AWS cheat sheet? I don't really have an AWS cheat sheet, otherwise I would share it with you. I use like the best AWS cheat sheets. Hack Cloud, is that what they're called? This is good, and Hacktrix Cloud. When I'm doing cloud or AWS stuff, these are what I use. Hacktrix Cloud and Hacking the Cloud. Hey Tyler, I shoot trying to watch this during work. We'll catch up later. Love the content. Well, thank you, Studio M44. And this is definitely cooler than work. So you just tell your work you're busy. But hey, I appreciate the support of you becoming a member and hanging out with us for a little bit. Why does Hack the Box do this, guys? Why does it take forever to give me an IP? Every time I'm on stream and I'm like, hey guys, let's do Hack the Box. It's freaking trash and doesn't give me an IP. Okay, let me check it on my host machine real quick. Sometimes we'll get it on here. Here, let me pop this over. Pull this up. Oh, it gave me an IP. Okay, it just took a little bit. All right, beautiful. And I can ping it. All right. We have notes pulled up. Oh, that's for the include machine on TryHackMe. Okay, cool. So we'll get all that stuff set up and we'll dive into it. I remember this one being a drag, Laughing says. Well, shoot, hopefully it's not a drag. It has good reviews. Yeah, I haven't heard about the box ever bottleneck, so we'll dive into it together. All right, guys. Let's take a 5-minute break, stand up, walk around, do all that good stuff. I'll throw on some music for you guys in the background, and then we will dive into this thing. But let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Be right back in 5 minutes. And it is time. What is everyone? Hopefully you enjoyed your 5-minute break. Let me start recording for YouTube and we'll dive into this machine. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to attempt a machine on Hack the Box called Antique. Now, like most things that I do, I have not prepped this ahead of time, have never even heard of this machine or looked at this machine, so I'm going into it completely blind. Now, that's probably what's different between this video and all the other walkthroughs you're probably going to find on YouTube. What frustrated me when I was first learning is I would try to learn how to do this pen testing, this ethical hacking thing, and I would get stuck on a machine because I had no idea what I was doing, even more so than now. And I would look up a walkthrough and there'd be a content creator that showed me how to solve the machine in 15 minutes. What they did not show me was a 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, sometimes days of them banging their head against their keyboard, trying to figure out how to exploit the machine. They don't share their methodology. They don't share their thought process. They don't share their frustrations. They don't even share the times, when they rage quit. I have videos on my YouTube where I just rage quit on a machine, but there's something super valuable seeing someone work through a machine live as they share their thought process and their methodology. So hey, that's what I do. So if that kind of content is helpful to you, you should check out the rest of my videos. And hey, I know I'm live right now on a few different platforms, but if you enjoy my content, my primary platform is YouTube. So if you want to see all my videos as they come out, including shorter videos that aren't on stream, go to youtube.com, and then Tyler Ramsby is where you can find me on YouTube. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this machine. So here it is, Antique. I just launched the IP, and that is the extent of what I've done. So we need to do a few things first. Let's make a folder for it. So we'll make a directory for Antique. And then we'll also do sudo nano. We'll edit our Etsy host so we don't have to constantly remember the IP. And we'll drop it in here. And we'll call it Antique. If I can spell, antique.hackthebox. Save it, ping it. Good to go. Let's begin with our basic scans. I like to use Rust scan. We'll give it our target of Antique. Hack the box and then --.a. That just means whatever open ports we have, we want you to scan those open ports with nmap. So this says first scan it with Rust scan, see what open ports we have, and then any open ports we have, send it over to nmap with the --A flag, which is just a basic flag in nmap that throws all the enumeration stuff at it so we can see what is running on here. So it looks like, unless this is wrong, we only have one port open, port 23 of all things. I was expecting to see a web server or something along those lines, but that's going to be it looks like. Let's jump over to our notes and let's get some notes set up for this. We'll call it Antique on Hack the Box. Make it full width, make this page full page, and it'll be pretty easy, I guess, to set up our ports and stuff if this is the only thing that we have open. And then our plan for this, because once again, I'm working through this live, is we're going to try to do this in what they call adventure mode, where it just asks us for our user flag and our root flag. If we get stuck, we'll switch over to guided mode, which makes it a little more kind of like TryHackMe, where it asks you leading questions to figure out how to solve it. And then if we're still stuck, we'll look at a walkthrough. But that's the nice thing about all the easy rated machines in Hack the Box is they all have this guided mode. So it's not a full spoiler, but it helps point you in the direction you need to go. This is taking longer than usual to run this nmap scan. I don't know why. I'm going to try it manually. Maybe this will be a little bit faster, maybe not. Maybe that's like part of the machine. It's a printer? So maybe that's why it doesn't return any information. That's like part of the machine. I'm just going to grab this for my notes. We'll let our other scans run, but I don't even need a separate tab. Like usually I have separate tabs for each service that's running, but there's only one service that's running. So I'll just start my enumeration right on this main page. And so what I'm doing here, if I can go like that, If you're confused what I was doing here, because Nmap wasn't returning anything right away, what I did is what's called banner grabbing. I just tried to use Netcat to connect to it on port 23 to see if it would give me any information, and it did. It told me it's HP Jet Direct that's running. Because you can see these scans still aren't doing anything. I can probably stop this one. I wanted to make sure it wasn't just Rust scan bugging out, but they weren't doing anything. It's not like a... Oh, and then it prompts for a password. Interesting. Let's go ahead and grab all that actually for our notes. Try that again. So if I do that... Okay, so you just hit enter again and it will do it. I don't want to have the hello in there. All right, so this is what we have, right, for our banner grabbing. We can connect to it with Netcat. It prompts us for a password, and we get invalid password. So the first thing is knowing the KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. Let's do jet direct default password. Okay, that's what I was trying. Maybe I need to do capital. Do HP. Is there like a default telnet password? Let's just read about telnet on HP Jet Direct and how it... See if there's anything. To view supported commands, formats, and parameters, type the question mark. Okay, so we need to be authenticated to do that. Menu. So I don't think I can run any of these commands until I get authenticated, right? If anyone's done this box, let me know if I'm missing any other ports. So here's why it took so long. It just kept prompting Nmap for a password. Right, so the Nmap scan, that's all it kept doing. Password, 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 password. Let's see what we have here. So there's you leave an unauthenticated telnet service. There's a side effect of this. Does this need to be authenticated? I don't see anything for creds. I only found one port bottleneck. Did you scan UDP? I think Rust Scan does that. Does it not? Unless, do I have to specify UDP? Does -A automatically do UDP? Here, what am I doing? Let me just double check that real quick. Is there a bigger help? See, I think So I can specify it there. Let's just try that, I guess. I bet -A does it. Let's just try nmap, I guess. We'll let that do its thing while I play around with this. Yeah, SNMP should be open, one would think. I don't think this is gonna work. So is SNMP open on 161? Oh shoot, it is open. Alright, so a few things we learned. One is RustScan apparently does not scan for UDP by default. So now I'm wondering, can we find that with RustScan, or do I need to work into my methodology to check UDP with nmap each time? I'll do some digging in a second. King Tech said, off topic, but can you do a video on adversary emulation, the steps you would take for a real assessment? Maybe. The only problem is I may not know what I'm talking about. I'm not a red teamer. Most of the time, I'm just a pen tester, which as a pen tester, you're not really doing adversary emulation or emulating APT. You're doing more holistic pen testing, like ethical hacking, finding all the vulnerabilities. Whereas a red team engagement is much more long-term. That's when you emulate an APT. And so like I could try to make a video on it, but I don't have a whole lot of experience on that specifically. So King Tech, you might have to wait till I get more red teaming experience under my belt, because unlike other YouTubers, I try not to speak on things I know nothing about just for views. But good suggestion. You can add nmap specific arguments after your Rust scan. Oh, I know how to do that. Maybe that would do it. So if I do rustscan-a antique.hackthebox-s, like that is how it would work, I think. Let's give that a shot once again, just for testing. In the meantime, okay, so we at least have it trying it. Let's. I just need to sudo this. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump back over to our notes. I guess I do have enough ports, so we'll do like that, full width, And then we'll grab this. Full width. Oh, what am I doing with my naming here? All right. And I wonder if we'll find anything else. Does RustScan working now? So RustScan still didn't find it. GoPro Slow Yo is adding your YouTube in real time. Oh, beautiful. Dude, thank you, GoPro Slow Yo. Appreciate it. So apparently adding the commands as part of like the syntax for RustScan still doesn't hit UDP. How does... I need to figure this out. I need to pause this machine real quick. And figure it out. They say it's the best way to scan TCP and UDP ports, but how? How the frick do you scan for UDP ports? How is it the best way if it doesn't tell you how to scan for UDP ports? Scan UDP with RustScan. Oh, there's an issue for it. Okay. Did anyone close this issue? So it doesn't seem to support it. So someone tried to add it. Mmap does a couple of things. Your DP scan, blah, blah. Okay, so interesting. We learned that RustScan does not do that. For UDP, so we have to keep in mind if UDP is possibly open, we need to use Nmap manually. I can maybe try to go contribute. Wasn't I running Nmap? Here we go. And UDP scanning just takes forever, so this is going to take a long time, I bet. But maybe SNMP is all we need to work with. We can check like community strings and stuff. Is what I'm thinking. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for Nmap scan to finish, but Nefil says, I just scanned and 161 is open. Yeah, I saw 161's open right here. Is there any other UDP ports that are open? Otherwise, I'm just going to begin with this. I just wanted to know if there's a way to do it with RustScan. I think I got my answer. Everyone said, like when you read about RustScan, it says it supports UDP and everything, but from what I see, it doesn't. I think we have SNMP 1. Yeah, version 1. Oh, Nephos, how did you get all those UDP ports? So my scan's taking forever, dude. So 138. I already have 161. Oh, mass scan, but only 161 is open. Oh, okay, cool. Only 161's open. Gotcha. I'll have to try mass scan for UDP scanning too then. Anyways. So SNMP v1 is what we have. Authentication is based on a string. Community string, which is what I said, that travels in plain text. Version 2, blah, blah. As mentioned before, in order to access the info saved on the MIB, you need to know the community strings on version 1 and 2, the credentials on version 3. There are two types of community strings. Public, mainly read-only, and private, read-write. Enumerate SMP. It's recommended to install the following to see what does mean each. Oh, okay. They need to fix that sentence. It's recommended to install the following to see what does each OID gathered from the device. If you know a valid community string, you should access the data using SNMP. Walk. Okay. I'm just going to try a random string here. So, obviously I haven't done much with SNMP. Our interfaces, usernames. It's at least a printer. I identified that. Default, blah, blah. Okay. To extend, this can be achieved by using SMP set command, providing the necessary parameters, including the absolute path to the executable and the command to be executed. So, just for testing, I don't think that worked. So I need to understand the OIDs here, I think. Without knowing the specific MIB being used, it's hard to say what these bits represent. That might be a bitmap or printer status. To refer to the specific MIB. Wow. I'm not going to refer to specific MIB documentation, I can tell you that. So what was this thing that they wanted me to download up above? I didn't understand what they were saying. Let me go up. See, what does it mean each OID gathered from the device? Okay, what does each OID mean gathered from the device? Is that what they're trying to say? Let's try some of this out. Do I need that? I don't want to do an update while I'm on stream. Let's try. Oh, I see what it's called. SNMP MIBS downloader. Is it gonna work? Oh no. Does anyone know if I actually need that tool? I don't feel like wasting my time installing a tool I don't need. No. Okay, I don't need the tool. Bet I'm not going to download it then. MIBS is pretty clutch. What's that command, Nefos? What's that doing for me? Oh, he sent me a message. I don't want to know the full steps because I don't want a full spoiler. If I get stuck, I'll look at it. But why are we running that? So this is what I ran initially. Just trying to figure out where you're getting this from. Oh, that'll get me the string value for the printer. Well, let's just hack the box printer, isn't it? Or do you mean something else? And where do you get that 13614 crap at? I don't see that in there. I mean, I see a bunch of other strings. I dropped a link. Okay, let me check this out. I already don't like this machine. Probably just because I've never really done this. Oh, that was a value when you did the SNMP walk initially, as it provided the MIB. Does it not provide the MIB anymore? Here, let me just read through this. Most folks leave their SNMP community name as public, which I think I got. Also try internal. So he's using SNMP get. Do I have that? Oh, sweet. It is version 1, I think. Where's he getting that string from? Is that just always the string or something? The frick. Am I interested in invading Google together, Frida? No, I'm not. Where you see iso.xxx, that is the MIB, which will store values like passwords, etc. Yeah, so we have this, I guess we have this string right here. So how do I read this, though? I had SP years ago with MRTG for monitoring their common values. Gotcha. So what am I, the frick am I doing wrong here? So where's he getting this? Is that the same thing you sent me? Oh yeah, it is. But you're using SNMP walk for it. Let me try yours. See what I mean? It's not working. Oh wait, no, I need the community string. Hold up. So that gives me that. So then what do I do? What the frick? Oh. Hex represent. So you just decode that. You just convert them. Wow. I see the password right there. That's okay. I guess not confusing if you know SNMP, but we need to back up. So I need to document my steps here. So was this giving me the... Was this the same? Okay, no, that's not the same thing. But that was the same thing right there. So that's just netflow. So if I'm understanding right, this is just like a default value here. Correct. Okay. So that's just a default value. And the string was just public by default as well. So this... Oh, shoot, it was here too. It was there in that first result. When I just ran this command, the password is actually there. So you don't even need that long string. See, it gave me the password there too. I'm actually going to replace this. Right, this is my command. I did notice that value was in the first command, but you should always query the item as you can often find a lot of valuable data in SNMP. Ah. So let's grab a command on how to do that. So that's this right here. Well, you can just include this. Okay, now it's the same. Is it twice? Oh. I got access. Beautiful. All right. Took me a little bit there. Now, so I can reset the host name. What else can I do? Ritual save and printers. I don't think that's helpful to us. What commands does it give me? Parameter name, IP, blah, blah. Execute system command. Oh, shoot. Easy enough. And that flows at the bottom of the page when you entered exact. Oh, yeah, you must have saw that before I did. Alright, there's our user flag. Okay, that I take back what I said about the machine. That's if it wasn't for Nefos, that would have made no sense to me. So Nefos, you're the MVP on this. Like I would have looked at a walkthrough and still been confused, but that actually does make sense now. If you knew what you were doing, that would have been crazy easy. But I didn't know what I was doing, so I'm gonna say not too easy for me. Now, can I run like? Yeah, so can I just get a shell now? Or, is there anyone with, no, SSH isn't open on the machine, I guess. Okay. Can we also do, okay. Can I do that? Make it a little simpler. Nope, I guess I can't. We do a bash shell. Let's just try this. I wouldn't do the full path. Oh, whoops. So we'll just adjust this to 10, 11, 1337. Okay, I guess not. Okay. Try it a different way real quick. The frick. Finally got it. Okay, let me just record my commands I did there in order to execute that shell. And now we have our little more stable shell to work with. I knew one of the ways would work for me. We'll grab a screenshot of that. Since we have an actual shell now. Oops. All right. Oh shoot, I didn't I closed my shell because I'm dumb. Then I can get it easily. Exec user bin bash shell.sh. Okay. Now we can do some hunting. What do we all have? We have a telnet.py, which what's in here? That's just our telnet server. Okay, I want to make sure there's no password or anything interesting being shared there. Oh, we're in var spool. Okay. So LP admin. When's this? Oh, it's from 2012. Okay, I don't think this is going to be helpful. Okay, LP admin. What even is LP admin? Is it the printer thing? Yeah, printers. Okay. So back in 2012, there was a local privilege escalation. I guess, I mean, maybe it still works? Oh, it stands for line printer? Gotcha. I doubt this is going to work. Oh, from 2008. I mean, I really doubt it. I'll leave it open, but I'm not even going to mess with that yet. There's probably a different way. I can't imagine a hack the box machine is using an exploit from 2008 for privilege escalation, but maybe. We'll come back to it if I don't see anything else interesting. Let's see what we all have. Well, we don't have anything at home, really, I don't think. Guess we were already there. Oh, there's cups right there. Oh. Oh, that's where I was at. Where's the cups admin interface? I don't know where it's at. Is it 161 like it says in that Google? Oh yeah, or 631. That's what they said, right? 631. So we have cups 1.6.1. Okay, so it's definitely not vulnerable to that. Can I do anything with the cups interface? I must be able to. There's admin, classes, help, jobs, printers. I could set up like some port forwarding stuff, or I could go like this. It's a poor way of doing it. Okay. Oh no, I can't do like SSH because SSH. I can't do SSH port forwarding because that's not running. But I could use some other things to port forward, like chisel and stuff. I would think. And then I would be able to access this actual page internally. Is there any here? Is there any like cups? That's 1.3. We have 1.6.1. Maybe cups is running as a different user. We're at 1.6.1. This is 2.0.3. I'm looking in Notion. Is the free version good? Yeah, that's what I use. I use the free version. Bottleneck. So maybe if I do something like chisel, just set it all up, then I'll be able to access it from the outside, and then I might be able to dig into this a little bit more. Give me just a second, y'all. I'm going to pull up my OneNote, because that's where all my chisel stuff is at. Or all my port forwarding commands. I'll share my screen in just a moment. I might have some not hack the box, OffSec stuff in here, and I don't want OffSec to have a good reason to come after me. All right, yeah, here are my notes. Oh, this is on Windows, but it'll be the same here. Let's go ahead and try this. Compile that. So a demo app is running this chisel server. However, we can tunnel in. So we set up the server on our machine, right? Or no? Let me look at my own notes. So on Kali Linux, we set up the server, and then this will be, it says Windows, but it should work on Linux. We'll just use the Linux one. We'll do chisel client, our Kali IP. We'll add this in, and then we can proxy chains. Possibly. Oh, Nephilis found something on GitHub. Is this the one I found before? No. Here, let me copy the link. Oh, there's a Metasploit module too? 1.6.2. What were we at? We were 1.6.1. Well, very interesting. Let's try it before I spin up all the chisel stuff. File read.sh. Jump back over to this. 10.10.14.11. File read.sh. Okay, and how do we use it? Does not require any arguments to run. It is currently interactive only. Okay, so we just run it. And then if you want to read a single file only, prompt alignment, type in absolute path in an existing file. Okay. Holy crap. That's crazy. I'm surprised they're using an exploit from 2012 for the machine, but I've never seen such a thing. That's pretty dang cool. I mean, we completed the machine. Wow. Yeah, I would say not a hard machine, but a super unique machine. Like, I've done a bunch of CTFs, and I haven't seen anything quite like that. That's very cool. So if we would have done, we are 1.6.1, right? Would this have found it? Oh, I would have found it immediately. So the mistake I made is once I found CUPS 1.6.1, I only compared it to this privilege escalation I found. I should have went back to Google and just typed CUPS 1.6.1 exploit and would have found it immediately. We could have used Metasploit for it as well. We would have needed a interpreter shell, which could have been easy to get, but... Wow, that was cool. That was fun. Let's go ahead and grab our root flag so that I can say I completed the machine. The Metasploit one. Yeah, the Metasploit one would be fine. I would just need to get an interpreter shell, but I'm sure it works great. The bash one worked awesome. I mean, it just prompts for a file read. It's very similar to there's a Dell Open Managed file read that was actually discovered by Rhino where I work. The Hack Smarter CTF machine uses that, the one that I made. At least I think that's what I'm thinking of. Let me look it up. I'm sure someone has written some walkthroughs for it. Let's see what people found besides me. If anyone hasn't done this machine, spoiler alert, right? It's one of the ones I created for TryHackMe. But I think there's a file read vulnerability on here that's very similar to that one, at least with the bash prompt. Yeah, so you see that? It's always it's very similar right there. You can run the poc.py and it will ask you for the file, and then you have full file read on the system, except for it's a Windows. But that's the HackSmart security room that I made for TryHackMe. So just similar prompt is what it reminded me of when I saw the file read prompt. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Took me a lot of stumbling there. Super cool box, very unique compared to anything else I've done. And actually learned a lot through it. So I don't know who the creator is, but whoever you are, kudos. Thank you for making this machine for the community. And a big thank you to all of you in chat for hanging out with me, especially Nefos. Nefos, you kind of came in key with your SNMP experience, helping go through that. The Xbox sound always triggers me. It's always at like 200 system volume somehow. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about the loud sound. I forgot that my desktop audio was turned on when I solved the machine. Actually, the name Antique is a kind of giveaway. That's true. You're right. You're right. It's using an exploit from 2012. The name is Antique. That's a good call. That is a kind of giveaway that we might be using an older exploit. Super interesting. Well, y'all, I've been on stream now for almost 3 hours, so I think I'm going to call it a night, work on some of these videos. For those of you watching on YouTube after the fact, hey, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. In the meantime, all of you on stream, let's go ahead and raid some. We actually have a bunch of people on Twitch. Dang. Between Twitch and YouTube, we have like 50 people watching. So over on YouTube, if you want to come join the Twitch side of things, jump over to Twitch. We're going to find someone to raid real quick from InfoSec Streams. Oh, look at that. GoPro Slow Yo added me to my YouTube channel. Thank you, dude. And he's live right now, so let me get my headphones on so that I'm ready to raid him. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to pull it up on my other machine real quick. All right. I'll turn off my desktop audio. Let's go ahead and raid Go Slow Pro Yo with all of us. And our raid phrase, of course, is hack smarter, not harder, right? Hack smarter, not harder. Go Pro Slow Yo. Did I get that right? All right, join into the raid, ladies and gentlemen. Go Pro Slow Yo. Remember, hack smarter, not harder. For all of you watching live, thank you for watching. We're going to jump into this raid. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.